Chelsea will most probably play a 3-4-3 formation, but they could easily play a 4-2-2-2-2 formation, which Tuchel used to huge success against a three-man defense. Conte adapted against Chelsea, but they will use a 3-4-3 formation with Mendy in goal, a back three of Koulibaly, Silva, and Cucurella, and a midfield four of James, Kante, Kovacic, and Chilwell, and a fluid front three of Havertz, false nine Sterling, and Mason Mount. Cucurella will play as a centre back to combat the pace that the Spurs front line has through Kulusevski and Son. James could easily slot in at the right centre back, and Azpilicueta plays as a wing back, but this is a more practical formation based on form, legs, and pace. Silva will always play in a central defensive position because he has all the experience needed for such a match. I think Jorginho will be replaced by Kovacic because Kovacic has the legs and the ability to recover when Spurs steals the ball or when there's a counter attack. We know Jorginho's weakness is counter attacks. He cannot recover because he doesn't have the pace needed. So Kovacic will be an improvement, and Kante, when fit, is the best at what he does. Chelsea will be playing with 12 players on the field because of him. James and Chilwell did not look fit in the previous match, but with about 90 minutes under their belt for James and nearly 80 minutes for Chilwell, they'll be able to improve on the performance of the last match, and they'll be able to be more effective going forward, because what Chelsea missed last season was the width provided by their wingbacks. Havertz, his form is non-existent. I don't know what happened to him, but he's off form, But with Sterling as a wing, as a false nine instead of Havertz, it enables for Havertz to have more freedom to play with more freedom, and Sterling is world class. All the teachings of Pep Guardiola, he embodies them, and he has brought them to Chelsea, and is improving. That is a great signing for Chelsea based on the last match and the Udinese match. Mason Mount was forcing things in the last match. If he just relaxes and just plays his natural game, he will combine with Sterling throughout the match, and he will be most effective because of the way he plays. He has that grit about him that gets Chelsea ticking. Tottenham will play in a 3-4-3 formation with Lloris in goal and a break three of Romero, Dyer, and Davis, and a midfield four of Emerson, Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Ryan Sessegnon, and a front three of Kulusevski, Kane, and Son. That front three, based on the previous match, is clicking and firing on all cylinders. This is a very, very good front three, which might score over 50 goals combined. They play with the pace provided by Son and Kulusevski because they play in a counter-attacking kind of style. Pace is the most needed thing, and those two provide it in abundance. Kane will be dropping off and playing through balls for them, and playing looped balls for them to great effect. and their wing backs will provide width and pace with the youth of Ryan Sessegnon and the experience of Emerson. They have a very, very good looking attack to them. Bentancur and Hobie would be protecting that central midfield with all they have, because if you play for Antonio Conte, you have to have grit, discipline, and fighting spirit, and those two embody all of those things. And their center back pairing is not that good, but it does enough for them to not concede a lot of goals, and they have to be on their toes throughout the match in order to protect the lead and protect Hugo Lloris, because he's not as young as he was before, even though he's still as an effective keeper as he was before, but his reflexes have dropped tremendously because of the age. So this starting lineup is a very solid starting lineup. It has legs, grit, fighting spirit, everything that you need to be a success under Antonio Conte. Kane will be the most vital player in this formation, because if he drops deep too much, that may eliminate his most effective trait, which is linking midfield and the forward line. But with against Chelsea, if it drops in too deep, it'll give Thiago Silva ample of space to make the best decisions to eliminate all his through balls, because of the of high level of thinking, decision making, and high of alert. So this team may do damage to Chelsea if the front three clicks and the defense just does just enough to not concede more than one goal.